Amber. I'm the membership chair for Spiral Scouts International, and today I'd like to help walk you through your chartering process. This video is going to cover the first two steps basically. Setting up your registration form, what to do and what not to do, as well as the first email that you'll get from us to set up your Spiral Scouts email account. We work on teams, so after you've filled out your registration, we like to get you right in there so that you can communicate with us and get your questions answered. So the first thing we need to look at is spiralscouts.org. It's right up here at the top. This is our main web page. It has a lot of awesome information. It has a link to our shop, the fundraisers we're doing, our magazine and printables, the registration, information for parents, and about charters, badges, and awards. Down below it also has links to different events and things going on, such as our weekly Q&A session, our board meeting. So not only can you see how we work transparently, but you can also come and ask us questions. I know it's a little late at night for those of you on the East Coast, but we try to make it so that as many people can attend as possible since we're all over the country. It also has links to when our virtual circle meetings are going to be, as well as other events being held by our parent organization. There's a lot of good information here about what we do in general that you can look at if you haven't already. But maybe, let's just say, you haven't decided what exactly you want to do. Maybe you're looking to join an existing charter or to see if there's other charters near you. The first thing I'm going to recommend you do, if you're looking for a charter, is to go to our map page. This has our charter locator, which shows all our current active charters. And on this page, you can see if there is a charter near you. You're going to be wanting to look for one that says circle. So if we scroll down a little bit past the actual map, you see that this says circle, and that tells you that this is a group that may be willing to accept other members. You can see where they're located, and if you click on it or the little marker, you can also see who the organizer is and what their email is. And if you're having trouble reaching them or have any questions, you can also always contact hq@spiralscouts.org or our main phone number line. Once you're in the chartering process, if you're really gung-ho and raring to go, I'm also happy to share my contact information with you so that we can get you through the process as quickly as possible. That's my goal. So, once you've decided if you're going to try to join another charter, or maybe you can't because there isn't one in your area, we're going to go back to our home page and see what it looks like if you're actually going to fill out the application. You're going to scroll all the way down here to past all of this stuff, down to this little section with these 4 pictures. This one is a link to our volunteer page. So if you're just looking to volunteer, this is where you want to go. And this is our charter page. Now let's take a look at filling this out together. I'm going to use an old junk email that I don't use anymore. And I'm just going to put in a random number here. I'm going to put in my, you're going to put in your full legal name and your preferred name, you know, because people have nicknames. Put an address and a city and a country, because not all of our charters are in the U.S. And I'm going to pick my state here. And it's going to ask me for a zip code. Now, there are a few instances where somebody comes into this process already having a charter number, such as if somebody had started a while ago and had to pause their chartering process and doesn't remember where they're at and are just trying to get back in touch with us. But the majority of you are not already going to have an assigned number, so you can just leave this blank. Your charter name is really important. I need it to create your charter email. The leader is going to have a display name that shows that they're the leader, and it's also going to name their charter. And we want it to be something unique to you and your family or to you and your circle. Ask the kids that you're going to gather what they may want to call themselves. It can be fun. It can be ridiculous. You could be the Screaming Yetis, or our charter is Melodic Wisdom, because our hearth, we love music and we love seeking wisdom. But have fun with it. You can be ridiculous or you can be serious. It just kind of depends on your needs. The only other thing that we really want you to avoid, each state has like a name that it's known for. Ohio's the Buckeye State. Indiana's the Hoosier State. We'd like you to avoid these names because this is what we use as our state monikers. So if you're from Indiana, you'll be a part of the Hoosier tribe. And if you're from Ohio, you're part of the Buckeye tribe. So I'm going to put in melodic so that it doesn't mess with my charter. And you're going to put if you're a circle or a hearth. A hearth is if you're an individual family with just your kids. And a circle is if you have 2 or more families. I'm going to put circle for here. So the next thing it's going to ask you is, are you the charter coordinator? Are you the person that's going to be primarily running and being the contact for this charter? If you are, you're going to click yes. Occasionally we have someone click no, and there's a couple extra questions if this happens to be the case. So we're going to run through these real quick. It's going to ask you for the actual name of your charter coordinator. And it's going to ask if your charter is open to families outside of your own. If you're a hearth, this is no. And if you're a circle, this is yes. Next, it's going to ask if you're a military charter. This is for our families who are constantly moving or on military bases. We like to know and show our support for them. And, of course, we're always looking for more volunteers. So we have a list of areas that you may be interested in, from tribal coordinator for your region to helping out with the virtual circle, and a little bit of everything in between. Maybe you have some IT skills, or you're interested in badges, member relations, marketing, working on the shop, or even fundraising. We have a spot for anybody who wants to volunteer, and we won't ask for a ton of your time because we understand that your time is precious and you have other things to do with your life too. Question 18 is asking you to provide 3 references. These can be professional, educational, or personal. For each one of these, it should look something kind of like this. You have the person's name. I'm just going to make up a name. Amelia Lockhart. You want to put their phone number. Oh, I messed up where I was sitting. You want to put how long you've known this person and how you know them. So I'm going to put this person was my coworker. You're going to do this for number 2 and number 3 as well. This is for your interview process. All leaders get interviewed by our CEO or another member of the board, either at the Q&A meeting or whenever they set up time. You'll get to that process a little bit later, I promise. Then the next 3 questions are based around listing any skills, certifications, proficiencies, educational experiences, or work experiences that may be related to your leadership experience, or if you're just trying to volunteer from the list above, those experiences. So maybe you have a background in IT and you could put that under your work or educational or your certifications so that we can see that if you're interested in IT, that you have some qualifications for it. Just gives us a little bit more information about you. Then we have all of our disclosures and acknowledgments. You're going to read through these one by one. I'm not going to read them here. And then you're going to type your full legal name to acknowledge that you agree to these statements. Please read them thoroughly. Please take your time. Don't just agree. I know we have a tendency to just go through and click the button at the bottom, but I'm asking you not to. Just to make sure that you understand what you're agreeing to and understanding what we expect of you. And of course, if you have any questions about any of these items, feel free to email us at hq@spiralscouts.org. And when you get to the bottom, the final question is, how did you hear about us? This just gives us an idea of where people are finding us for our own benefit. And once you're done going through all these things, then you're going to hit submit. And you should see this response. Once you've filled out the form, you're going to notice that there's a link here. And we will cover this in another step, but you're going to want that link because it's something that's going to be very important to you. This has your e-packet, which is a checklist of the things you'll need to do to complete your new registration process. It'll have all the links that you need for everything. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to come back with the verbiage for the email that you'll receive once we set up your Spiral Scouts email and Teams account.